Planning for a mining project, presented in 9 steps by Ambientales, December 2015. Step 1 is to examine the mining process that requires permitting. Only when you understand the process can you plan its permitting. This means understanding the resources and inputs in each part of the process and the emissions, wastes and products that are generated. Step 2 is to examine the layout of the project and how it will affect the landscape into which it is emplaced. Step 3 is to organize a flowchart of the permit acquisition process, starting with a database of environmental regulations that generate the obligations for permits and culminating in the approval of the permits on possibly future renewals or updates. Step 4 is to identify the types of permits that the operation will require. Here are a few examples. Step 5 is to identify the corresponding regulator or authority for each type of permit, such as the example shown here. Step 6, this information can be combined to produce a list of the individual permits that will be required. Each activity or part of the project will require a certain type of permit covering exploration, construction, or operations. The combination of the individual project activities and their corresponding permit types gives rise to a specific list of permits, each one with a serial number. Step 7 involves charting the timeline for obtaining each permit so that the project engineering team can incorporate these timelines in the overall project Gantt chart. Step 8 is the permit acquisition process itself, which involves various stages. Firstly, identification of the person responsible for each permit. Secondly, identification of existing environmental commitments under each regulatory authority. Thirdly, identification of prerequisites and contents of each permit application. Fourthly, submission and tracking of each permit request through to approval. Step 9 is the maintenance of the permits database to track the progress of the acquisition of the permits and identification of new needs or renewals. This is a tool for keeping the project team informed of the permit plan. A well-organized plan and close coordination with the project execution team is possible with a good organization of the permitting team. You can contact Simon Catchpole at Ambientales for more on this subject.